Hello. So today I'm going to try to work through a little bit of my mezcal stash, and we're going to do Neta. Neta is it's yet another kind of mezcal label. What makes them special, as opposed to Cinco Sentidos, Malbien, lots of others I've reviewed before, is they are really, really regionally specific. They really focus on Miahuatlán, which is it's a town in kind of a larger district, kind of in central southern Oaxaca, particularly known for mezcal. And that's pretty much what they do, and that's super cool. So I've had some Miahuatlan mezcals before, particularly from Jarquin in the Vago stable, probably the most prominent producer out there. And okay, let's get this out of the way first. That's kind of the rub with these. These are not cheap. They are expensive. And you could look at them and say, okay, well, I could just go buy Jarquin stuff, right? Because it's Vago, it's a bigger label. Um, you know, they've got scale on their side, and so that yada that kind of thing. And I understand. I do. Like some stuff like this, you can probably, it's not going to win a lot of fights in the QPR department. Here's the thing. Like, let's take Darkwing, right? He will make batches of, 1,000 liters, 1,500 liters, somewhere in there. That kind of scale, which isn't huge, right? Those are small batches in the global scheme of things. These folks, you're talking often about like a couple of guys, sometimes just one guy driving a truck up to the side of a mountain to hand harvest like wild agave, driving it back, and you know doing all the production work, the distilling in these tiny stills, and you're ending up with a batch of sometimes 50, 60 liters. That's, and then you have to bottle that, register that. It's an enormous amount of work being done by a tiny handful of people to get these bottles out there. That's super cool, and some of these are agaves I've never heard of in my life. Some of them, one of these we can talk about maybe isn't even agave. I'm not totally, I am not a biologist. So you're gonna get stuff in these that is completely unique and special. And yeah, could you absolutely go out and buy, pallets of rum fire and be set in your happy QPR world until the end of your life? Yes. And I wouldn't criticize for that. But I am so happy stuff like this exists. All right, let's get into it. All right, starting off, so I have an aficionados pick. All these have been sitting around in my cabinet for like a year and a half, so I don't even know if these are for sale anymore. But I really want to see what this label is all about. Aficionados pick and 3 Astor picks, all from different producers, and we're going to start with the aficionados. This is a Tepeztate from. I'm going to try to read my notes here. Heriberto García Sánchez. Again, it's Miahuatlán. Distilled June 2019. And so only 60 liters. Like 60 friggin' liter. Okay, so that's what? Like 15 gallons? Somewhere around there? So go to your local crappy gas station. The fridge in the back with like a couple of gallons of milk that no one ever buys. Look at those gallons. That's about how big that tiny crappy selection of milk. That's how big this entire batch is. This is, even for tiny producers that I love. I don't know, Barillon in Armagnac or Hamden. 60 liters is a barrel leak, y'all. Like, that's a short barrel. These are tiny, tiny patches. All right. So 46% ABV, all Tepeztate, pot distilled. Let's see what we got. Ooh, very, 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 very fresh, grassy. Edging even into not New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, almost more like. But there's like a Sauvignon Blanc thing in here, almost more like a Loire Valley Sauvignon Blanc, not Sancerre. This is more like Touraine Sauvignon Blanc. It's a little bit more, doesn't have that intense minerality to it. Actually, no, I'm going to back that up. This has an intense minerality to it. Oh, absolutely. There's sandstone. There's flint. Okay, so it basically smells like a Sancerre. Okay, so fresh grass, fresh celery, actually, intense minerality, spearmint. What is that? A little bit of fresh basil in there as well. Super duper aromatic. There's something fruity. It's actually, it's not fruity. What is that? It's almost like some of the vegetables, like the celery grassy thing, were if it were candy, or you actually no. Wait. I got it. Cucumber soda. That's what this smells like. Mr. Q cucumber soda. So everything I mentioned before, the Sancerre thing, minus the acidity, minus the lemon. There's really no lemon on this. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, there's a little bit of lemon peel. But take all the stuff I mentioned before and just pour a little bit of Mr. Cucumber soda on there. That little hint of sweetness. Not really a lot of fruit, though. All right, let's see what happens on the palate. Yeah. Okay, so much. Sometimes agave will do this. Like it is so much sweeter on the. There's no actual sugar in this, but it presents so much sweeter on the palate than it did on the nose. The nose is kind of austere, except for that kind of Mr. Cucumber note. But the palate is almost candied. It's delicious. It's very crushable. Yeah, absolutely. There's what is like a blue cotton candy thing in this. That's kind of the center of this is this intense like blue cotton candy sweetness thing. And then all like a lot of the stuff that was happening in the nose, the grass, the different mineralities, the flint, the sandstone, just some roadside gravel. More basil than mint now, but yeah, a little bit of mint too. Super duper yummy. I'm trying to think of other things. I'm looking for fruit. Is what I'm looking for. No, it's more like it's closer to junior mints than fruit, except like actually like but if you could make junior mints out of like basil instead of mint, I don't know if that makes sense, but put that in your head. So that with the cotton candy and the minerality, that's kind of a lot of what you're getting here. And yeah, it's absolutely delicious. Super nice. If you are a smoky mezcal person, this is probably not your thing. There really isn't a lot of smokiness to this. It's really more kind of candy and vegetables. There's maybe a hint of there's like an ashtray way off in the corner somewhere, but it's very, very light on the smoke, which I'm okay with. Like I'm down with the style. Okay, I'm gonna add some water to this. We'll come back to it. Moving on. All right, next up is this is the Ensemble. This is cool. All right, so this is a Astor pick, and okay, so we have Madrecuixe, Madrecuixe, which is a Karwinski, I think. And then the other two, I have no idea what they are. Mexicano Verde and Penca Larga, which apparently isn't even an agave, but it's here in this blend. Distilled April 2021 in a copper pot by Primitivo Vásquez, again for Astor Wine and Spirits. 72 bottles of this, so similar batch size to the Tep here, between 50 and 60 liters, I guess. 46.4% ABV. This looks fun. All right, here we go. Interesting. Very kind of shy on the nose, but there's something really interesting there. What is that? There's almost like a grilled mango thing happening. Yeah, it's grilled tropical fruit. That's what that is. So take some mango, maybe some kiwi, chop them up, throw them on a grill, maybe some lime too. And then what is that? Like a sherry vinegar note, but nice. I mean, sherry vinegar is nice, so I don't even need to add to that. If you don't have sherry vinegar in your life, you need to change that immediately. It's delicious. It's high acid. It's great. Yeah, it's a shy one of those. There's a dusty character to this. A little bit of white pepper. Overall, very subtle though. So it's the impression I'm really getting is my neighbor next door is, grilling tropical fruit, and I'm just getting little whiffs of it over here, and I'm like, oh, that smells delicious. And maybe putting some sherry vinegar on top of the fruit. Yeah, it's fun. We'll see if water opens this up a little bit more, but for now, let's move to the palate. That's not what I was expecting. Let's start with pool water, but nice. Yeah, there's totally like a chlorine element to this. Smoky cigar lounge pool water. Let's start with that. But there's a fruity element to this too. Ooh. Fruity and floral. There's like a little burst of flowers in the middle of this, and I sort of start to get worried. I'm like, ooh, is that going to throw everything off? Because I did just do some agave reviews where one of them got kind of too floral. This is holding it in, though. It's just a little fun accent that's there, and then it's kind of gone. And it's kind of really nicely integrated with the ashy notes, the kind of cigar lounge notes. Fruit, yeah, okay. We got lime. I'm looking for this kind of smoke tropical fruit thing I was getting on the nose. Maybe a little bit of the kiwi, touch of papaya. Don't think the mango though. Not really vinegary. There's some sweetness on the palate. And yeah, it's a thinker. This. I mean, there's enough of a, it presents sweet enough that it's very drinkable, but you have the chlorine thing and the smoky thing and the floral thing kind of wrapping into each other in a way that's tricky for me to kind of wrap my head around, but I think I like it. I think I like this. I'm going to add some water to it, and I'm curious especially to see where the nose goes with water. Let's move on to another Astor pick. Astor in New York, much more aggressive with their agave picks. Mezcal pick. That's another thing I should add. Most of these, I think all of these actually, are not marked as mezcals, technically. I mean, they are in the everyday talk sense, but in the legal sense, no, because most of these producers are too small to actually, pay for the registration and legal status of mezcal. So these are sold as just agave distillates, Destilado de Agave. And that's cool. Let's see what we got here. This is it's another ensemble kind of. So it says it's on the bottle. It's a Madrecuixe. That's one I always have problems with. Madrecuixe plus a Jabalín. But there's also some Coyote in this, which is one of the cool, rare agaves that has become super duper popular recently. So we shall see what we got here. So it's 102 bottles, slightly larger batch. Imagine that, 102 bottles. This is distilled by Celso Garcia Cruz, again in Miahuatlán, and distilled May 2019. 47.7% alcohol. All these are, kind of in the mid to high 40s. Even more shy in the nose than the last one. Come on. No roly-poly, just shaky, shaky. Come on. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of like burned flowers. Some little subtle pineapple kind of thing. Come on. Also, what is that? Yeah, I'm really struggling to kind of pull notes out of this one. I was complaining about this one being a little bit shy. This one is even more so. Come on. Oh, okay, there's a little bit of like a pickled something, like a pickled fruit. Yeah, pickled, smoked, I don't know, nectarine or something like that. Yeah, let's go with that. It's waking up. It's coming. Okay. Or my brain is adjusting to this and starting to figure it out. So yeah, slightly floral, slightly burned, smoky, slightly pickled, with a little core of stone fruit in there. Yeah, that's about all I'm getting. It smells nice. It smells interesting. See you on the palate. All right, so there's a fun line of just acid on this. yeah, like uh, sour lime peel with some gravel and some like smoke happening. What kind of smoke? We're talking, yeah, just straight up cigarette smoke, like your dad's cigarette smoke back when, you know, back when he had a square every once in a while to relax those days. Um, okay. Um, rather unlike this previous one, um, the Vasquez, this which had that kind of burst of flowers right in the mid palate. This one is kind of just is also floral, but it's just like a little top note running over the entire affair, which is really dominated by kind of lime and a little bit like a stone fruit syrup thing, like a mashed up nectarines and peaches and that kind of stuff. Yeah, let's go with that. Um, I like the acid on this. That sense of just like a kind of thirst quenching character. Um, doesn't bring a huge amount of complexity. I'm curious to see what this does with water, again on the nose especially. But yeah, this is well, okay. It's super pleasant at minimum. I'm really enjoying drinking this. And yeah, it's just different. It's subtle. It's not hammering me over the head with those kind of second tier flavors and stuff. Um, yeah, I appreciate that. Give that a squirt of water. We shall come back. All right. Where are we? 22 minutes in. Okay. Not doing too bad. All right. Last glass. Is it yet another Astor pick? This is a Tepextate. Again. God, why do I have problems with the X's? The X's are hard. I should be able to do this. I'm an educated person. It's a Tep. Let's go with that. It's a Tep by Gilberto Aquino Garcia. This was distilled also May 2021. So actually, these two kind of distilled at the same time. These number 2 and number 4. 162 bottles, huge batch. That's almost as big as a barrel pick. Copper pot distilled, 47.9% alcohol by volume. Let's see what we got here. Also bringing a definite kind of green character. I think that's just a Tepeztate thing. Oh, where am I going to start with this? Okay, so there's a pear thing in this too. So it's pear really with the halo of like, this smells like food, and I'm totally into it. So take a pear, cut it up, put some maybe a couple of orange bell peppers, Brussels sprout or two, some celery again. Maybe that's just a common Tep note. I'm looking for grass, but it's not really grassy. It's more like eating vegetables. Again, slightly, little hint of flowers, but pretty subtle. Little halo of just a little bit of ash, just a little campfire ash in there. Other stuff, yeah. Actually, there's some cinnamon as well. Again, it really just smells like food, and the side of me that really likes you know, alcoholic beverages that smell like food. You know, Clarin lovers, come on in. Cabernet Franc lovers, come on in. Like, this is, I think you will be into this. Yeah. Um, Good nose. On the palate. Interesting. So there's definitely a lot of spice going on. There's a lot of black pepper, a little cumin happening. That cinnamon note is joined by a little bit of cardamom, even a little clove too. But it's not popping somehow. It feels like a little. I was expecting this big explosion of like different flavors in my mouth, and somehow that's not happening. Yeah, you got the spice, a little basil, a little hint of like, did I say orange bell pepper? Orange bell pepper. Kind of like a. It's not Mr. Cucumber was absolutely here in the first class. This one, which is also a tep, they're both teps. It's more of like a, I don't know, like a bell pepper chewing gum thing that is just starting to lose its flavor a little bit. I don't know if that exists, but it feels like it should exist. If actually, now that I'm thinking about it, like we're all like millennial hipsters at this point, right? And trying to, there should be like vegetable flavored chewing gums out there, right? That feels like that would blow up and go stonks if someone actually put that out there. Anyways, if you want to do that, let me know. I will buy it. I will rep your brand. Yeah, smoky, slightly smoky, spicy vegetable chewing gum. That's what this tastes like. Um, I like it. It's not up there with my favorites in this flight, but it's pretty darn good. So let's see. Let's give that a squirt of water, maybe a little bit more, and we'll go back through these. Haven't even crossed the 30-minute mark. Maybe I can actually do some things with my day. All right, let's see what happens. Now that we go back through these, we are back to the A fish pick again. Heriberto García Sánchez. This is the first tap of the lineup. Yeah. The nose is actually kind of receded a little bit, but it's still just, it still smells like Sancerre minus acidity plus Mr. Cucumber. And yeah, I'm into it. This is fun. Not a whole lot of change. Maybe the smoke really comes through a little bit more. Maybe just a hair bit more smoke on the nose now, but still not one for smoke heads. And really, none of these are really there for the smoke heads. Go buy something else. On the palate. Yeah, just delicious. Cucumber soda right at the core of this. The mint and the basil are singing. Really not a fruit-driven kind of mezcal at all. It's really about like candied green stuff, candied vegetables, and I absolutely appreciate that. Good mouthfeel. I mean, it's not dominating my mouth, but it's so, like, I don't know, lithe and light in its feet and happy that it just feels like it feels like it's doing what it wants to be doing there anyways. But good finish. I'm still tasting this. It doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. Good mouth length. Pretty serious quality. I'm going to go... I'm struggling between 88 and 89. 88 plus. 88 plus on this guy. Yeah, really nice mezcal. Or agave distillate, sorry. And let's move on. Have some water. This is the Ensemble with 2 varietals I'd never heard of before. Here we go. On the nose. No, so this is the one where I was really hoping the nose would pick up just a little bit because it really felt like just like the nose was happening next door and I'm just trying to catch a whiff. No, it's still got a little bit of that problem. That said, it's nice. I'm really enjoying these kind of grilled tropical fruit notes. But yeah, especially for, I hate to bring up the price points again, especially for these price points, I just want it to be a little bit more expressive. Oh well. On the palate. Again, every time there's that little burst of flowers and I'm like, oh no, it's going to throw this off balance. But then it just kind of integrates with smoke and the chlorine and everything else. Yeah, it works. Yeah. I mean, the nose is a little disappointing, but no complaints about the palate. I love this integration of like flowers and a little bit of ash and a little bit of chlorine and those kind of more subtle fruity notes. The lime in this is really nice. Score-wise, I don't think I can go crazy, but I will absolutely give this an 87. 87 points out of 100. This might actually be the smokiest of the bunch, if that's your thing. Moving on to the second blend, the Madrecuixe plus Jabalín plus secretly also Coyote. All right, see what happens here. Yeah, the nose on this is also not really speaking up. None of these so far has really changed a whole lot with water. Oh well. Maybe there's a little bit of like a Smarties, the candy thing coming through now. Just very lightly though. I mean, as much as I was kind of complaining a little bit about this previous ensemble's nose, this is probably the weakest nose of the lineup. Okay, I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, smoky nectarine or something like that. That's about it, but just it's very subtle on the palate. mean, it's nice. It's fine. It's got that kind of slightly ashy, herbaceous, like stone fruit thing. But yeah, this is not winning the flight for me. Still pretty good, but it's not winning the flight for me. Yeah, a little bit of lime peel happening. Smoky stone fruit. I don't know, it's okay. It's okay. A little, some kind of herbaceousness, maybe a little oregano in there. I'm whelmed, I suppose. What am I going to do with this, score-wise? I'm trying to find an 86. I can't find an 86. I'm going to call this an 85. It's nice. You know what? Just because the nose is so... Yeah, this nose is so light. I'm going to call this an 85 minus. Which is a little bit of a bummer, but, you know, it's still nice. I'm still enjoying it. Let's move on, though, to the other Tep in the mix. This is the Gilberto Aquino Garcia. Again, distilled May 2021. Yeah, and this was the one. The Teps just smell like food. Like that's their thing. Development, again, not a whole lot, but did it need it? I mean, I love this nose from the start, and it's actually fun to kind of nose these two side by side. Oh. These are so vegetal. I love the just like sizzling vegetable plate kind of vibe this brings. But yeah, there's actually a little bit of pear in there, some quince. Some like dark chocolate happening. Very pleasant. The Teps are probably going to run away with this. We'll see what happens on the palate, though. Yeah, I mean, this is just more my style. Again, very candied in the kind of front of what it's doing, but there's so many little like tertiary flavor profiles in there, secondary and tertiary flavor profiles, and it's all vegetal stuff. It's all bell pepper, little celery, basil, mint, hints of chocolate. Mouth presence is good. Good finish, good mouthfeel, good length. Hard to knock this. Do I like this more than the first Tep? I'm actually going to do a side-by-side here. Maybe this is how I should have arranged the tasting initially. Teps versus blends. Let me try this. More sour. Yeah. This. Yeah, these two are very, very close. Kind of at the same place. I'm just going to give the same score, 88 plus out of 100 for this Tep. And And that's it. That's the video. Yeah. So this was a very, very fun lineup. Really kind of showing the range of what agave distillate can do once you get outside of the regular range of Espadin, Tobala, those kinds of things. So a hair bit disappointed on the blends in the middle. Although I'm absolutely glad to have them, because when's the last time you had something with Penca Larga in it? But yeah, the Teps are absolutely running away with this. You have to like vegetables, you have to like spirits that smell like food, but if you do, these are worth a look. Thanks for watching, and cheers.